The hybrid framework, it is a combination of TestNG, keyword driven. While teaching hybrid framework, first I teach you keyword driven, we add data driven to the keyword driven and data driven framework. For user friendly sake, for ease of maintenance purpose, different approaches mixed together, a new approach introduced for automation testing, which is called hybrid test framework, shortly hybrid framework. So majorly it is a combination of TestNG, keyword driven testing and data driven testing. Okay. So already we have implemented modularity framework using TestNG, and later we have implemented data driven. In TestNG framework, modularity approach, it can be called modularity one by one. Modularity generally meaning one by one, right? One by one, test case by test case. After implementing all independent test cases, we group all test cases in a XML file, testng.xml, correct? After creating individual test cases, we group all test cases together into one file, testng.xml. So major implementation wise, TestNG framework very easy to implement. The major difficulty with the TestNG framework, the practical problem we face while working on the real, a big project is, supposing a project has plenty of features. 100 features are identified for automation. You tell me now, listen carefully and answer me. 100 scenarios identified for automation for some project. How many individual test cases we create? Yes. How many individual independent test cases we create? 100. Like admin login test, one test case, banker login test, another test case, customer login test, another test case, new branch creation, one test case, new employee registration test case, 100 independent test cases we create, okay? After developing all independent tests, say 100 in this context, finally what we do? After creating all independent test cases, in modularity framework, generally what we do? Yes, what we do? We group all together. Where we group all together? In testng.xml file. Correct, okay. If I run testng.xml, where we have grouped 100 test cases, what happens? All 100 test cases will be executed one after another, correct? Right, all 100 test cases will be running one after another, okay. Supposing, listen, you are one of the testing team member, automation team member, I am your client, my requirement is like this. We received a modified build constructed. Some modifications made to money transfer feature in a banking product. Some modifications made to money transfer functionality in a banking product. Okay. As changes made to money transfer feature, in the modified version, I want to test only other features connected to money transfer, not all 100 features. Listen, not all 100 features, I want to test only few, not all. But when I'm running the testing.xml, it is executing all 100 test cases available in the XML file. But my requirement is not that. My requirement, I want to execute only selective test cases. What to do? Or this project has module 1, module 2, module 3. These 100 test cases belongs to 3 modules. For some reason, this time, I want to run only test cases belongs to module 1. But when I run my testing.xml, test cases belongs to 3 modules are getting executed. But I wanted only few selective test cases to be run. Enable equal to false. Okay. Divya, enable equal to false, agree with you. But what I have to do? I have to go back to all test cases one by one, which I do not want to run. Supposing 60 test cases I do not want to run. I have to open all 60 test cases one by one. I have to configure enabled equal to false, enabled equal to false, enabled equal to false. It takes lots of time. Okay, I did it. Maybe after 1 week, again my requirement changes. Again, you have to modify each and every program. You are agreeing my point? Raj, whatever you said, what I'm trying to say, once automation test cases are prepared, frequently if you are modifying the test cases, this may impact other working test cases. I do not wanted it. I need some user-friendly mechanism, and that too, if you are touching the technicals, supposing you want to modify some technicals to run only selective test cases. If I'm touching the technicals to run selective test cases, if I say to my client, let's say we are the QA team members, we are saying to our client, sir, whenever the modified version given, you have to modify this program, that program, this program. The simple question from the client, why I'm paying you? I do not want this mechanism. I need some user-friendly mechanism so that without touching the technicals, I should in a position to run the selective test cases. That is the requirement. Sai Krishna answered in another way, sir, we have to create one more XML file. Correct. It is another option, Sai Krishna. Agree with you. So every time, if I go with you, you mean to say, every time we have to create a new testing.xml with the required test cases, correct? So in every modified build, we have to create another testing.xml by grouping the required test cases. If I go with your statement, again, it demands effort, time. Any other mechanism? That is hybrid approach, a solution for the scenario what I have explained. Look at this one. Here I have an Excel file, the name RNHRM keywords or Primus by keywords, your project name keywords. You know, keywords meaning a short name assigned to the functionalities. You check out this file now. Here I designed an approach. So coding is nothing but you need to define a customized approach which satisfies our requirement. I put all test cases in one Excel sheet. Here, as it is a sample, I have only 4 test cases. Maybe in a real-time application, I may have 200 or 300 or 400 test cases. To teach you the concept, I put only the 4 major test cases here related to RNHRM project. Admin login, employee registration, user registration, and employee login. Keenly observe the template, test case number, description. For every test case, I am providing the option to the client or the end user who involved in test execution, automation test execution. You select, totally 4 test cases are available. If I really want to execute all test cases, I just key yes, yes. I want to execute only these, not remaining, no, no, no. I want to execute this and this, yes, remaining, no. If I create a script in a way that if my program filtering, I repeat, if my program is filtering the test cases selected for execution, these two, based on the word, yes or no. If my program able to filter the test cases selected for execution and running only these two test cases, updating the results, pass fail, I give this Excel file to the person who involved in automation test execution in the maintenance support or to the client. I simply guide them. Whenever you receive a modified version, you do select regression test scenarios. You want to execute admin login test case? Yes. You want to execute employee registration? Yes. Remaining you do not want to execute? No, no. Don't touch the code. Don't modify the script. No need. Via the Excel sheet, we can manage our test execution during support. So all test cases belongs to our project will be recorded in an Excel sheet first. For every test case, we give an option to the client or the end user who involved in test execution. Do you want to execute this or not? Yes or no? If my program able to filter what are the test cases selected to run and executed, updating the results, dissatisfying my requirement. I hope you understood what I said. Rather than grouping or putting all your test cases in a testng.xml, put all your test cases in an Excel sheet. For every test case, give an option to the end user who involved in test execution. You want to execute or not? Yes or no? If my code filtering selected test cases and executing and updating the results, it is satisfying my requirement so that whenever I receive the modified version, I have an option to execute either all test cases or few test cases. Got it? But technical code we have to write. We have to write the technical code. We have to drive the technical code in that way. Now here, first in this approach, try to understand the template. First, we keep all test cases in Excel sheet like this. Then, every test case will have the steps, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, test procedure. You do observe in the Excel file, I have another sheet here, test steps, second sheet. Test cases available in the first sheet, test procedure, steps available in the second sheet. And here, just a minute. Here, see the first test case, check admin login. There are 2 steps for the admin login here. Step 1, enter valid username, valid password and click login. Because the first step, launch application, close application, I omitted here because before the test and after test will automatically run. Preconditions and post conditions are configured in app utils. So hence I avoided precondition and post condition related steps in this sheet. Here, every step is mapped to corresponding test case number so that test case 1, these are the 2 steps. And here, for every detailed step description, we assigned a short name called keyword. Enter valid username, valid password and click login. For this detailed description, I assigned a short name. I put a short name, easily rememberable name, admin login. See here, these keywords, not your function names. A short name assigned to a detailed step is called a keyword. Test cases are available in the first sheet. Corresponding steps are available in the second sheet. For every detailed step description, we assigned a short name called keyword. Then test data maintained as parameters here. Even test data also I'm maintaining in the same sheet. So enter valid username, admin, valid password, keywords 123 shift 123 and click login. After executing the step results updated here, pass fail. After executing all the steps belongs to one test case. Say for example, if test case 1 selected, your code should filter the corresponding steps, execute the steps including test data using this data, update the step results, pass or fail. Once all steps are executed, if all steps are passed, update test case results as pass. If any one of the steps fail, update test case summary as fail. Similarly, second test case, filter the corresponding steps. Your code should drive like this. Filter the corresponding steps. Based on the keywords, call the appropriate functions from the library classes. Using this input data, update the step results, then update the test case result, pass or fail. If a test case is not selected to execute, no. If the test case not selected to execute, simply update the results as blocked. Show blocked in red color. If pass, show in green color. Fail and block can be shown in red color. If I really implement this kind of framework, this kind of approach, simply I provide the Excel file to my client or the end users. Whenever a modified version received, they select what are the test cases they want to execute. They run the code, your code filtering the test cases selected to run, executing the steps, updating step results, and updating test case results. So that without knowing Selenium technicals, the person who involved in automation test execution do not require Java or Selenium or any other technical skills, because the test execution driven via this Excel file. This kind of approach really companies are expecting, clients are demanding. So let us learn how to implement the technicals for this approach. So before we start implementing the technicals, first you need to have the clarity on the strategy approach. You do confirm you understood. For this, we have to implement the technical code. You understand the approach? Right. Well, so truly speaking, the interviews also, companies also will not expect this kind of in detailed knowledge from the freshers, beginners, Selenium beginners. But they ask you what is this hybrid framework and all, just you should in a position to simply explain what it is. Because freshers, you are not giving any experience in Selenium. Whereas the second category students who are planning experience in Selenium, it's a very, very important to crack your interview. Any interview, if you are giving experience and attending an interview, the very first question you encounter from the interviewer, what is the framework you implemented for your recent project? If you are giving experience, say you are saying that last 2 years I am working on Selenium, the very first question to you, what is the framework you have implemented for your recent project, current project? Mostly people today are following hybrid framework and Cucumber BDD framework. That is our next topic, Cucumber framework. So this is one of the very, very important topic. Let us implement this framework. For implementing the code, whatever the conceptual knowledge required that already I have given, so we start implementing the code. Right. Well, rather than again going with the Primus Bike application, this framework, hybrid framework, I go with the second application, Orange HRM application scenario. Okay. At first, we have to create a new Java project. I'm naming, RNHRM project, or simply RNHRM. I give like this, hybrid. Just for your understanding, I've given the name hybrid. And we need to associate the APIs. So what are the APIs we have to associate? First, I'll associate the Selenium. Then we'll associate TestNG library. And also I'll associate, what is that? Apache Poi. As you're going with the TestNG, JUnit not required. Even log4j also not required nowadays. If you're going with TestNG, which is higher one. Apply and close. Yes, I have associated Apache Poi, TestNG, and Selenium. Done. Then so what I will do, the purpose of creating reusable resources, this utils package, it contains app utils and Excel utils. The complete package I copy because utils we can reuse for any project. I'm copying the utils package from the previous project into my current project. Because we made the code in a very generic way. You can make use of this code for any project. Only the thing, the URL you can change. So here the URL is rnhrm.qtech.com. You no need to do any other changes because completely code has written in a generic way. Right. Then I create the project structure. We need to create one package to maintain library files. Previously, I have given the name RNHRM library. That previously I have created a package with the name in my previous project, primusbank.library, that contain only primusbank library file, whereas here it is rnhrm.library. We create the classes later. First, let me finish up the structure. I create one package to maintain my test cases. And in this project, I'm creating a folder, not a package. Folder, because Excel file we should not keep inside the package. Package should have classes and interfaces. I'm creating a folder with the name. Okay. Keyword, something. or keyword files or just keywords. Now this Excel file, the Excel file available in my D drive, I copy. I'm copying my D drive. I put in this folder. This is the Excel file I'm going to access in my script. In the previously, I used to take the Excel file present in the D drive. Now I copied the Excel file into my project folder so that whenever I export this project, all resources inside the project will be exported. Better you follow like this. So this is the minimum structure we have to follow. And then we need to add the libraries and everything. You understand this project structure? Do confirm. Did you understand what I did as of now? Every time you no need to create utility classes, app utils, Excel utils, every time you no need to create. Purpose of making static libraries to reuse among the projects in an organization. Within an organization, I can reuse the libraries in any project. Hence, we made them as static utils. Then, to maintain our application-related classes and functions, we created a package rnhrm.library. To maintain the test cases belongs to this project, I created one more package rnhrm.test. And rather than maintaining the Excel file in D drive or C drive somewhere, let us better maintain your Excel file that contain your keywords, test cases within your project folder. Got it? Right. Now we can start implementing the code. Right. What I do, just a minute. To do one thing, before we start with the technicals, better everybody, maybe better you take the template, or if possible, better maybe a short notes you take. If you have a notebook, better you take this note. Hybrid framework. It's fine. Just a paragraph. As it is very important, I'm asking you to better you take a note of it. Hybrid framework. It's a combination of test-ng, keyword-driven, and data-driven framework. In this approach, all test cases belongs to the project. All test cases belongs to the project, documented, recorded in an Excel sheet, recorded in an Excel sheet in the following format. Okay? Here you have to take the format. So in this approach, all test cases belongs to the project will be recorded in an Excel sheet in the following format. Okay? Now, better you note down this template with the sample test cases. Now, when you refer the notes, you can able to prepare well for demonstrating, explaining about hybrid framework. So better you document this. I'm asking you to document this so that you will get the template understanding. You document this template. Here I said, in hybrid framework, all test cases will be recorded in an Excel sheet in the following format, this format. Here we have RNHRM test cases. After you document, please confirm me, done. Please confirm me in the chat box, done, so that I'll continue. Done, finish. Yes, remaining people. Okay. Right. Now, let us continue. Here, I don't have a format. It's a notepad, that Excel format. Test steps will be recorded in another Excel sheet in the following format. So in the companies, you know, whatever the format, whatever the approach they follow, I'm just introducing the same approach here. Procedure will be recorded in another Excel sheet in the following format. Here, that is a second sheet. Anyhow, I am going to upload these files into the Google Drive, but still, when you refer the notes, you need to get clarity on the approach. Better, one moment. To take all steps, it will take time. At least you document the steps for at least 2 test cases, first 2 test cases. At least for the first 2 test cases. Because you know here, first 2 test cases, check admin login, check employee registration. If you document like this, only you need to worry about the technical implementation. Rest of the process will be understood when you refer the notes. Only selector portion. Please take it. Once you completed it, give a confirmation. We start the technicals. Okay. Well, let us start implementing the technicalities. Here, already app utils available, Excel utils available. The app utils we have given RNHRM URL. The remaining is same. We no need to do any change. Excel utils we no need to touch. And coming to the libraries, first we have to create the individual test cases, correct? First, we have to implement the individual test cases. After creating 4 independent test cases, you can group. Or what we can do, we can create the library files. So what are the libraries we have to create? You answer me. What are the classes we have to create in the rnhrm.library? If you refer the application, you'll get an idea. Yes. What are the classes we have to define? I already told you the blind rule. Divya launch application, close application already available. Only we have to create admin login here, correct? The very blind rule I told you, irrespective of the framework you opted, any framework you opted for your project, every page present in our application under test considered as one object. Every page present in our application, you consider as one object. So what is the first page in our project here? What is the first page in our project? See, not only admin login, friends, not only admin login, same login, employee also can use it. Employee also can use it. So login page, simply login page. So here, I create a class with the name login. Login is my class name. Right. This extends just a minute. App utils. And here in this page, I will define 2 functions. One is admin login with friends. Today I'm going to create only the skeleton. Tomorrow we write the code. Okay. First I'll create the skeleton structure. User ID and password. Here we have to write the code. Later we'll do this. Not only admin, even employee also can log in. For admin login, expected behavior of the system. For admin login, expected behavior of the system should display admin module. Employee also can log in. When an employee log in, system should display the employee module, correct? As expected behavior varying for admin and employee. So definitely to have expected behavior, I create one more function with the name EMP login. Nothing but employee login. For employee login also, user ID, password. Here the expected value is different. Here the expected value is different. For that reason, I am creating two functions. Okay, right. We create the code. We create the code. First, today I'm going to just create the skeleton. Please do confirm you understood what I did. We have to write the code. My class name is login, or you can name RNHRM login, nothing wrong. You can also rename to RNHRM login, nothing wrong. Okay. Otherwise, enough login is enough, no issue. Right. Then, based on the test cases, I'm going to create them. For employee registration also, we need to create a class. Here, the employee registration available in admin module. The employee registration present in the admin module. In the admin module, we have employee registration functionality here. So it's another page, right? In this library, I create another class. My class name is employee, not employee registration, employee. Employee is my class name. In this class also extends app utils to make use of the driver, to make use of the WebDriver object. Here I'm going to create a function, add employee. Here coming to add employee, I consider only the mandatory fields this time. First name is a mandatory field, first argument. Last name is second argument. There are no other mandatory fields. So the input arguments, first name, the last name, here we write the code to check add employee functionality. Okay. And here we have another test case, user registration, creating a login account for the employee. In the admin module, under user management, we can add users, we can edit users, we can delete users. But as per my requirement, I need only one function as of now, add user. The page system users or users. So here I create another class, maybe with the name users. This extends app utils. Here I'm going to create the function add user. Let's see what are the inputs required for adding a user. Here we have a default user role, employee. So I'm not going to take this. Employee name, one argument. For which employee you are creating a login account, employee name, first argument. And username, second argument. It is already defaultly available. Password, confirm password. But here, confirm password, you don't need to take as an argument because whatever the data you are supplying for password, same data we are going to supply for the confirm password. So my next argument, keyword, password. And here we create the code to add a new employee. Here already In the login, we have even employee login also. So for the 4 test cases, whatever the skeleton needed, I created a skeleton. We have to implement the technical code. After implementing the code, we implement the framework test cases. Please do confirm you understood till now for today. Here I created one class login with admin login, employee login function. We have to write the code. And I created another class in the library package for adding a new employee. I created another class users for adding a new user. Okay, we have to write the technical code. After creating these library classes with appropriate methods, after writing the technical code, then we have to create the test cases. Right. Well, for today, I stop here, friends. And this Excel file and this notes, the notes is a simple notes, not required. This Excel file I'm going to upload into the Google Drive. You just refer the recording. Also, the file I'm going to upload into the Google Drive, this Excel file. Tomorrow, we implement the rest of the technicals. Okay? Take care. Good night. We continue tomorrow. We'll upload the file into the drive. Right. See you tomorrow.